What's up, good people? It's your boy Hoom Boom back with another segment of the Hold Up Show. And hold up, you lose security, you lose security, you lose security. Today, we're going to be reviewing a clip of what exactly U.S. clearances are and what access they give you. Also, we're going to be reviewing an article of the new batch of people that President Trump has revoked their security clearance. Let's get into it. Hold up.
What precisely are security clearances and where do they come from? Security clearances are issued by many government agencies and can come in several different levels, offering different access to sensitive or classified material. And even if you have the highest level of clearance, that's not an invitation to plunder all files. You will likely see only materials you need to know about. Who gets security clearances? As a practical matter, they go to people who are intimately involved in the safety and defense of the United States and its allies. Now, this is not all military business. For example, there could be economic information or infrastructure details or negotiations with other countries which might be considered highly sensitive and fall under this umbrella. But all of this has to do with active government service. So why should anyone who's left the government retain his or her security clearance? Former employees of an agency have experience. They have institutional knowledge. And the people who take over for them may need that. Say you worked on some classified matter involving another country and a new team comes in. They need to know what you did. This would assist the new team to be able to talk to you about the current situation as well. In addition, some private industries, defense contractors, for example, do work that requires private citizens to deal with sensitive government matters. So having a security clearance outside the government can also be useful. So why would anyone lose or have their security clearance revoked? Usually that happens because they truly no longer need it, or some conflict has arisen. For example, they start working for a foreign hostile government, or they just get into trouble. They commit a crime, or they're linked to some illicit or risky activity.
So there you have it, folks. A clip from CNN explaining exactly what security clearances are, who would have them, who would obtain them, what would be the purpose of obtaining them. And it gets tricky. I mean, some people still have security clearances probably from 2 presidents ago. Some people, probably that should have had security clearances never had security clearances. But you just find it interesting that with President Trump's second term, that all these people are now losing security clearance. And I don't think we ever really heard of people losing their security clearance, especially not since Obama was in office. Have we really heard anyone lose security clearance, or that it be so publicized or promoted that they lost security clearance? So I also want to get into this Newsweek article about Trump revoking security clearances for Lethea James and Alvin Bragg and others. So let's review that and see what it said. Okay, see if I can zoom this in for you good folks. All right. Now, President Trump said in an exclusive interview with the New York Post on Saturday that he revoked the security clearances for some former Democratic officials and current legal authorities following his decision to do the same for former President Joe Biden earlier this week. Now, why does that matter? Trump announced on Friday that he had revoked Biden's security clearance and discontinuing the daily intelligence briefing that Biden has been receiving. Retaliation for Biden doing the same to Trump in 2021 due to erratic behavior and the concern he would disclose sensitive information. Traditionally, former presidents continue to receive intelligence briefings even after leaving office. However, in a post on Friday, Trump claimed that Biden used his tenure to instruct the intelligence community to prevent Trump from accessing national security information after he left office. Now, that is very crazy to hear, that all our former presidents are still getting briefed with high-level security clearance and information. And I just feel as though if they're no longer commander-in-chief or in charge, why do they still need to be a part and have all that access to security clearances and to things that they are no longer in charge of? Doesn't that leave open the door for corruption or for former presidents and former officials to dig their hands into things that could be viewed as some form of corruption? And when have we ever heard, outside of Donald Trump and Biden's administration locking him out from security briefings, that we've heard another president and some of their officials and legal officers and officials getting their security clearance revoked? It leaves open a lot to discuss as far as what possibly may be coming down the pipeline for these former officials. Did they actually get into trouble, as was explained why a certain individual would lose security clearance due to a new administration coming in? So we're not even a full cool month into this second term, and things are shaking. Now, let's get into the what to know section. Trump on Saturday told the New York Post in an exclusive interview that he would revoke the clearances of 8 additional Democrats, which the newspaper wrote was meant to punish them. Without their clearance, the officials will not be allowed to access classified information or enter federal facilities. Now, that one is even more tricky because now they're not even allowed in any federal building. So that should give you some inklings to that these people have to be dirty somehow, some way, or a threat to the establishment meant to help the American people, because we've witnessed some of their theatrics during the start of Trump's second term campaign run, and all the charges, whether legit or trumped up, no pun intended, we seen it, and we all witnessed it, and we all felt as though something was dirty about the actions that they were doing. Now, here's the list of some of the other people, Democrats and legal officials, that lost their security clearance. Biden's Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, New York Attorney General Letitia James, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, former National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, Biden Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco, lawyers Andrew Weissman, Mark Zaid, and Norm Eisen. So yeah, that is just an interesting group of people, and I do not believe that he is finished with revoking security clearance. Mind you, he's already tearing up the CIA. He's already tearing up the FBI. It probably will move on to the DEA and other three-letter agencies that are funded and affiliated and started by our government that have not been in the best interest of of the American people and their interests. So I just foresee more CIA officials, more government officials losing their security clearance because they don't need it. They could be double and triple agents. They could be starting things for their own agendas and personal interests that have nothing to do with better in this country. Let's continue on and finish this article. So each of those listed were at some point involved with investigation into Trump. James and Bragg both brought cases against Trump. James brought a civil fraud lawsuit against Trump's real estate company ahead of the 2024 election. Trump maintains his innocence, and the judgment of over $500 million, including interest, is on appeal. Now, they brought a civil fraud lawsuit. Attorney General Letitia James brought this suit against him. How do you get a judgment of $500 million, including interest, by what? Saying that, or writing an application for real estate to be able to get a loan? I mean, how many of us have done this? Especially if it doesn't come to real estate, it would definitely come to a credit card, and they'd be like, oh, what's your annual salary? What's this? What's that? You're going to embellish a little bit to make sure that you can achieve the credit card or achieve the real estate loan or whatever you're looking to achieve from these companies. Now, unless there was some very illegal or illicit things behind him filling out these things for his real estate mortgages or companies or whatever the case may be, if they found no crime and this is a civil fraud lawsuit, how do you get a judgment of $500 million? That just seems outrageous. It seems like there was a plan in place to try to cripple Trump's financial situation before or during the campaign run, while not only trying to hurt his brand, hurt his reputation, paint President Trump to be a nefarious and foul individual. So it didn't work. He still got in the presidency. Let's continue on. James and Bragg. Bragg led the hush money case against Trump that led to 34 counts of falsifying business records related to payments to adult film star Stormy Daniels that led to a conviction and a largely symbolic unconditional discharge sentence. Trump has maintained his innocence and is appealing that case as well. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we all, but there is a signed statement from Stormy Daniels that she said that this is, this is not what people are making it out to be. I wish I would have bought that up before, to show you that she signed off on this letter in 2018 expressing that, Trump did no wrong and she didn't want anything to do with anything, and she didn't want to testify. She didn't have any charges to bring against this man or anything. But it seems as though someone got in her ear within the last few years and made a push to get her back out there to tarnish President Trump during this case. So James also leading a new lawsuit against Trump's Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, for his access to sensitive payment systems in the Treasury Department. Now, why would James be leading a new lawsuit against the Department of Government Efficiency for payments made in the Treasury Department? why do the Democrats, or why does the current establishment of not only three-letter agencies, but all these subsidiary institutions like USAID and others that we normal Americans may not be aware of, that is sucking and funneling money to corrupt individuals and politicians and funding these programs that are not in the best interest of us? And it's like, why wouldn't we want to audit where the money is going? Why would there be a lawsuit from this attorney general wanting to stop sensitive payments, or wanting to not share the information of where these sensitive payments went? We should be able to know where the money from our country is going, especially if it's affecting the little man, the normal human American's bottom line, with being able to properly take care of their family in an affordable way. So, let's continue on. Quote, "This is to take away every right they have, revoking security clearances, including they can't go into federal buildings," Trump told the Post, which characterized the revocation as largely symbolic rather than consequential for James and Bragg. However, neither will be able to enter the U.S. Attorney's offices for the Southern District and the Eastern Districts of New York. Whoa, what did I freeze? Oh, okay. Yeah, so they ain't allowed in the building, people. They ain't allowed in the building. They can't get to these files and do whatever needs, whatever their intentions was to move forward with these lawsuits, or whatever they were deeming had legal standings to go against Trump, Department of Government Efficiency, and other agencies that they feel as though are tearing down, certain institutions that clearly are to their benefit. So, what happens next? With these 9 officials losing security clearance over the past 2 days, it is possible Trump is not done and will revoke clearance from other former Democrat officials and lawyers, especially if Loomer's warning pans out. So there you have it. My thing with making this clip right here about what I wanted to discuss is, not only did we see Mr. Bolton lose his security clearance, Fauci lose his security clearance, Mike Pompeo lose his security clearance. I predict Obama will be the next to lose his security clearance, if not more, from his administration. The hidden key players in things that they wanted to get done, as far as their number twos, or their shadow government of who they were sending to either attack Trump, attack conservatives, just overall attack the best interests of the American people. So my prediction is Obama is the next to lose his security clearance, and it will be blasted all over the news. There's just so much more to uncover. It's the web of this corruption, from what the audits are uncovering, who our government has been funding. It is long overdue. But I want to know your thoughts. I want you to comment. I want you to subscribe. I want you to share. Get involved. This is your country too. You live here. You don't want to pay this high rent. You don't want to have this high cost of living. You don't want to have the discussion be about toilet paper, eggs, and milk, or whatever they want to jack up the price on to disrupt the economy and make our lives harder, while also behind closed doors stealing our money and funneling it back to them under the guise of aid for another country, under the guise of institutions named in a way to think that they are for the people, but they absolutely do nothing for the people, i.e. FEMA, i.e. Red Cross. You put it together, i.e. Clinton Foundation. So let me know your thoughts. This is your boy Hoon Boom, and this is the Hold Up Show. And hold up. Enough is enough. It's time for them to lose security clearance. They don't need to be involved no more, because when they were involved, it got worse for us. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.